Hi, I'm Tom.
I'm Matty.
And I'm Lewis.
This is the Wigan Way, Wigan's favourite rugby league podcast.
He'll put you in his trap 'cause he's a union man. He's got it all figured out. He won't care what you think 'cause he's a northern man. He's allowed to speak his mind. His
It's time for Western Force sack Lomax.
It's not how I thought this was going to end.
No.
I do love the... Sorry, have you seen the conspiracies all around this?
About this...
That Para were made to concede 50 and have a man sin-binned because Volandis isn't happy with how they treated Zach Lomax.
That's the biggest load of rubbish I've ever heard. And I've heard some utter drivel about this game of rugby league, and that's probably the worst thing I've ever heard. Of course they didn't. It was a stupid Eddie.
Awful. But yeah.
He said it's his dream to play for the Wallabies, which is the second biggest piece of nonsense I've ever heard following rugby league all my life.
Because I'm certain his dream was to play in Origin.
Yeah.
And then his dream was to represent Australia.
No, that still was his dream.
But then his dream was to
win a comp.
To win a comp.
He wanted to win a comp.
He's not doing that at Para.
He's definitely not winning a comp at Western Force. I don't know how good Western Force are, I'll be honest. I don't watch rugby union.
Then he's
not winning NRL.
Then his dream was to win the R360. Then his
dream was to even be in the R360.
Then his dream was to win his court case about going to R360 and coming back.
Yeah.
And now his dream's to represent the Wallabies.
He's made a bit of a mess of it, hasn't he? Mr. Lomax.
The problem is he's that good enough that someone was always going to take him, whatever sport. Because there's talks he was going to go to Aussie Rules as well, and he would perform in whatever league he goes to.
Yeah, it's that thing about Australian athletes, big athletes from New South Wales. They want to play rugby league, so when they do finish, they can play other sports. Here, it's like, we get great rugby players because we brought them through from the moment they can walk, but in Australia, it's like they've just got great athletes that have transitioned to rugby league. Yeah,
they play all the sports going on. They play a bit of uni and they play a bit of Aussie Rules. They play all other sports and they're involved in it. You're more an athlete than a rugby league player until they specialise. But he'll be a great signing. And
well, I don't know where he's going to play for Western Force. Probably on the wing. He'll be bored out of his mind playing on the wing in rugby union because he'll get one carry a game. He'll finish it. He'll be a good finisher. He'll be good under the high ball.
What does Sawali?
He plays centre.
Is he playing centre? Could Lomax play centre? He didn't want to play on the wing.
Yeah, he could play centre, I suppose, but I think it's a lot more technical.
Wasn't that why he left St George? Because his dream was to be a winger?
Well, no, I don't think so. I think he left St George because they weren't very good. He said all the thing about not being a winger, but then he played on the wing for the rest of his career after that, so I don't believe him.
I wouldn't complain about being at St George to go to Para.
Yeah, but Para were decent then. It's when they just made the final a couple of years before, isn't it?
I know a lot of teams that have got to a final and not been very good. Does happen, doesn't it?
Yes.
Right, should we get into this podcast then?
Let's do it.
So, round 4, lots has happened. Wigan travelled over to France, to Toulouse, in what turned out to be a really, I'm not going to say a difficult game, but a game that kept us awake in it. 18-0 up, and the hope is you can just then score one more, 24-0 half time, switch off. We obviously missed our kicks. We allowed Ashall Bott to score just before half time. And it was 18-6, and it's just an awkward...
Yeah, I think the awkwardness probably did come from actually the kicks, because we scored 4 tries without reply to start this game, and you're thinking any time you score 4 tries... I mean, the past 2 games we scored 4 tries in the first half without reply. Leigh and Hull FC, and you're out of sight because it's 24. Vegas, we scored 4 tries.
And you're out of sight.
And you're out of sight because it's 24. But 18, you always think, get on before half time, yeah, nip one just after half time, we are right in this game.
And then you think you've got all the momentum.
Yeah, exactly. And so things can happen, injuries, yellow cards, red cards, whatever. Things can happen. You can get back into the game with it being 18. And so I think that's why, Toulouse never went away. Credit them for that. They scored more points on us this week than they joint with Cast, didn't they? They got 16 against us as well.
Yeah.
Did they get 16 Toulouse or 18?
16, yeah.
So they joint with Castleford. But yeah, I just think they never went away. They're going to be hard to beat at home. That's not a side filled with stars, is it? Toulouse. They haven't got many household names. Ashel Bott, you could say, is a household name. There's not many others.
Yeah, there's a couple that we're aware of because they're ex-Wigan lads.
They've played in Super League like Joe Cater.
Yeah, so there's Jake Shaw's. AJ Wallace was at KR.
Brendan Hans has played for Para. Bad Para team, you mentioned it before.
Cater was at Hull. Joe Bretherton was a Wigan lad.
But what I mean is, like, there's a few that have played for Catalan before. I think Lambert Belmas was playing, wasn't
he?
Yeah. But you feel like there's not tons of star power. Yeah. Not really any star power.
Especially when you probably... I'm just thinking, will Dupree have the most Super League appearances in that team? And he's obviously not played. Joe Cater,
Dupree. You'd think Dupree would have more than that, but I don't know.
You know what I mean? One of your main Super League experienced players not playing.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you there, but I do think they're well coached. I think it's probably a lesson in keeping your coach for continuity reasons. You know, they went down with him. They came up with him in the first place. They went down with him. They've stuck with him. Hools. And he's brought them back up, and he's made them competitive without many additions.
The problem most teams have is they usually sack the coach before they get relegated in a desperate attempt to stay up. Toulouse, when they went down, were probably done for anyway.
I don't know. They were all right when they went down that year, but they won 7 games at home. I think they didn't win any away. That was.
I'm trying to think how close they were to staying up.
Well, it was Warrington who was just above them, and I think it was close.
You know what I mean. So you're not a million miles away from it. You've not gone down by only winning a game.
Yeah.
You're tempted to almost stick with your guy and say, let's get it right.
I'm glad they stuck with him. They're obviously a well-coached team, and they're obviously going to be hard to beat at home. They've shown more there than a lot of teams do. And then there will be, I say there will be, I imagine there will be, if the reverse fixture will be in summertime, and Wigan will be flying and Toulouse will be out of it, and it'll be a demolition. That's normally what happens with these teams. But early season, away from home, that's a tricky fixture. We've seen Castle go there and get beat. We see Castle go there and get beat. We saw them beat Wakefield, on the first week.
I've got to be honest, I think it's going to be a tough game no matter when. No matter when. If you have to go there, it's not the easiest to travel to, is it?
I think the promoted sides are well up for the start of this season. We'll talk a bit more about that later, but I think the promoted sides are well up for the start of this season. And they're trying to catch a few teams and have caught a few teams unawares.
Yeah.
And it's been a breath of fresh air, honestly, because the bad teams are still bad, but the new teams aren't bad.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
They're definitely better.
Yeah.
Now, should we get into the details of this game?
Yeah.
Now, I know me and you prioritise defence and controlling games to then allow your stars to go. But I was watching this game with Lewis. Obviously, you were away, Matty. And me and Lewis were talking about the punishing defence, especially in that first 15 to 20 minutes. I know one of the highlights, it shows a little bit of a break from Toulouse. But then it just got back into Wigan defending their hearts off. I think there was 4 sets in the first 10 to 15 minutes where they didn't get out the 20. Kicking from your own 20 consistently. And Bevan catching the ball 40 metres out from his own line.
Well, it's not so much that as well. That is obviously part of it. You could be punishing in defence, but you can be punishing him with the ball as well. Even without scoring, you can destroy teams when you've got the ball.
Yeah.
And we've got some good forwards for that, and we've spoken about forwards a lot over the past month.
Prop chat has took a hammering on it.
We've given a lot of Wigan Way points to forwards. Deservedly so, because they've laid a platform for the expensive backs to put on a bit of a show. And again, it's happened again this game. I think first half an hour, the tries catch the eye.
Yeah.
But it's the actual hard yards that are done at the start of the game that's so destructive, so punishing, that actually allows you to even play.
And just put you in the right place to make mistakes, trying to do things. Like we said, I know Toulouse made a break and it was really good hands. They dropped the ball just short of the line, and Wigan put a play on at the end of the next set to try and score. Rolled 80 metres.
Yeah.
It's incredible forward work. I know we're on about it now, and it is worth mentioning, but the metres gained by a lot of them, all of them in the early 80s. Liam Farrell, 120 odd, obviously playing in the second row, playing in the centre, sorry.
From Liam Farrell.
Cade Ellis and Walters both running over 110 metres. A lot of impact.
What were the team meters like? The team stats?
It was 1,330 to Toulouse's 1,007. Now that 1,007 is a better effort than what the previous teams have put in.
But you're still outgaining them by 330 metres, 320 metres.
30 odd %,
so
more metres.
I mean, it doesn't take a genius to work out. That's 3 and a bit full pitches.
Yeah.
You're talking 6 to 8 sets there.
Yeah, and I just want to throw into that, and we talk about that and the meters made. I just mentioned previously, kicking and pinning teams down. Look at Wigan's returned meters in from kick chases. Sorry,
kick
returns. Toulouse had 37 meters from kick returns. We ran 140.
Yeah.
So that 3 times, nearly 4 times more meters made on returning the ball, because you're pinning teams in difficult kicking positions, and you were catching it and attacking players straight away. It's really, really important.
And these stats aren't exactly, glowing towards us. Some of these stats, we completed the same number of sets. We made
six
more errors. We missed a lot more tackles. Did a lot more line breaks, things like that. But we also made a lot more meters, and we made use of our ball a lot better. I'd be interested to plug it all into Phil Clark's margin meter.
Oh, the margin meter.
And see whether it said 25. I would not say. I'm sure it wouldn't say 25. Because it never predicted anything more than like 2 or 4 points, did it?
He always had it. He
always had it dead close.
When they had it, whatever the score was, they just had 2 onto that.
Yeah.
If a team was winning by 10,
well, you think they were making up the margin meter? I think that was actual science.
I really hope those are massive equations.
Swung from one way to the other.
Yeah. Now, let's just get into a couple of these tries. And obviously, 7 tries. Kieran missed 3 conversions in the first half. Didn't miss one in the second half. Must have put his kicking boots on. I was starting off with Zach Eckersley's 7 minutes in. We've seen him score some brilliant tries and Bevan do his thing. But this is just the simplicity of a hands play. Smith to Havard to Farriman.
Yeah, this was off the back of a good carry, though, the one before, wasn't it? And the scrambling defence. And so it's pretty unstoppable.
You don't actually have to do much once you get in that position. It was nice hands. Walters attracts his opposite number and brings in the centre. Same for Kieran, and it's just then getting the ball out into space where Zach Eckersley is.
Yeah.
It's as simple as it comes. It doesn't look majorly pretty. It's just a basic catch and pass, and you know where the space is. And it's an under-executed skill. It's how many times you see teams drop the ball or the winger not make it into the corner. But you talk about ending sets and the carry before the try.
I do like talking about the carry before the try, you're right.
It's almost more important than the play that you've got planned. If you want to score a certain try, whatever, it's all about how you set up for it.
It's as important, isn't it? You can't do this one without t'other, as they would say.
Now, we then score again, 4 or 5 minutes later. A great carry from Walters leaves us close at the line. And with the threat of Smith looping round, he's come from his open side, which where you would expect him to be on that left-hand side, a swung round,
This is a bit like the tackle, the try from, what's his name on the first game? Liam Hood.
Yeah.
French made an unbelievable tackle on Liam Hood. That halfback, Lacan, made an unbelievable tackle on Walters. And then there's no energy, there's no set line to defend the scoot.
Yeah, and again, it's just that simple movement. Smith gets his first defender interested. And Kieran just sees the space and drops in. And at that point, it's 10 points to 0. Things are looking really good. And we keep dominating with that field possession. I know everyone wants points, but we get the points by being in the right place.
That next try does look very familiar, doesn't it? Yeah, the 6 firing at the line and throwing a face ball to Kieran, who was in untouched. I think we saw that last week, didn't we?
Saw it a couple of times where one he missed Kieran out and it Eckersley.
Yeah.
One where he hit Kieran on a short ball.
There's talent with Farriman that did it, not French, is what I mean, but it's the same system. It's like you bring somebody in and they play exactly the same style as the person they're replacing. That doesn't, obviously you can't do that all the way over because Walters and Farrell don't play the same style. But the halfbacks, it's quite nice.
Yeah,
it's quite nice to do that. You're not replacing somebody like Mason Leno with a Danny Richardson type half.
Yeah. The similar.
You know what I mean? It's somebody similar plays a similar style of rugby.
Yeah, and what I will say is when we saw Smith out early, and Farriman played on the left as the traditional seven.
It was a bit tough, wasn't it? Because
it was tough, but Farriman then took him a lot of the kicking, and he practiced that. And he's going to have to learn both sides of the game. Jack Farriman's a very, very good player. Let's just be clear on that. And he's going to have to learn both sides of that to become the complete halfback. And I think that's what he's doing when he's in there with Harry. His job is to create and be Bevan-esque.
Yeah, I kind of don't like the conversation about is he a standoff, is he a scrum half, is he this, is he that. I feel like he just needs to be himself at the moment and just be a half, be like he did in this game.
Yeah.
Have moments where he comes completely alive from the game. Have moments where he drifts through without making any mistakes. Because that's what Bevan does. And have moments where he controls it, because that's what Harry does. And if you can get the best out of both worlds, you've got pretty good halfbacks there to look up to and to learn from and to play alongside. Okay. But if he can manage to add both those sorts of skills into his skill set there, then he can be a serious halfback for Wigan and for England.
Yeah. I just want to add something to that as well. I think the important thing and the point that's easiest to miss is that he's playing in a side that's putting him in great positions.
Yeah.
So that if he does make a mistake, we deal with it. I know Harry got a lot of stick when he first came in, but Bevan was out injured. Hastings was playing full-back. He was playing in the halves by himself and couldn't do everything in a pack that was beaten. We're actually now allowing Jack to grow naturally. And I know a lot of the talk was he wasn't going to get enough game time and all that.
He's always going to get game time.
He's going to get game time.
Especially at the start of this season with all the injuries the teams have had.
Yeah, and we said he effectively covers the 1 and the 6 position because if Field goes down, like he did before this game, Bevan goes to 1 and Jack goes in. Now, obviously, we might as well mention it. Bevan has picked up an injury. It's reported. We don't know how long he's out for at the moment.
We are waiting with bated breath. You might know because you might be listening on Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday. You might know.
Well, you might be listening 20 minutes after we stop recording.
That's usually when they release that sort of thing, yeah.
But my point with that is, if Bevan does pick up an injury, Harry Smith's picked up a couple of injuries in the past. You will get games. And the lad's 19. Everyone talked about Harry playing too many games at a young age and being pressurised.
And we don't quite know what sort of impact that's had yet.
No.
Because Harry's still young.
Is he 25?
I can't remember. He's young though, isn't he?
So I just trust him to get the game time right and draw it out and develop him into a Super League player for 15 years, not one that comes in.
Do you know who I was impressed with again? It's on the screen there, Brad O'Neill. He was so impressive again.
I don't know what's happened in the off-season with Brad, but he has took his game to another level. And
well, he was injured last pre-season, wasn't he? And he done his ACL. This season, it feels like he's playing his game better than he's ever played it before.
I'm going to say something about Brad. And I know the Ashes was whatever, and Brad wasn't involved.
Mm.
For me, he has to play for England.
He has to go, I think, to the World Cup. He has to go.
And the reason I say that is I get that the game's going to be quick and whatnot.
Mm.
I don't think there's any 9 really worldwide apart from Harry Grant that's an 80-minute 9 at international level. And I just think if I was Australia, who would they not want to be playing? And I don't think they would want Brad playing for 20 minutes.
Mm.
Absolutely smashing them every time they touch ball.
Mm.
I just think if you then bring in Litton on, or you bring in Darryl Clark or Danny Walker on, all 3 of them work well with Brad. I think all of them would love to play alongside Brad as well.
I just like his game right now. I really, really like his game right now, and I think he's not complicating it. He's not doing any dirty stuff. He's not doing any silly penalties. He's just playing his game. He's keeping it simple, but he's dominating the middle of the pitch.
I'm just going to say 35 tackles, 5 carries, average of 10 metres.
It's just standard.
He's not running when he doesn't need to. His distribution's brilliant.
Yeah.
And he only played 50 minutes in this.
Well, yeah, but he was
60 minutes.
He was impressive again. In terms of laying a platform, he was impressive again. And I understand why people want to make him a loose forward. But I don't personally see it myself. Because he's so good as a hooker.
Yeah.
And he's so dominant. And he leads us around the park so well. And people might say, well, we need a bit more liveliness off the bench. Yeah, well, you can still do that. You can still have that. And we've got Tom Forber for that.
For me, it's the Wigan type of 9.
Yeah.
If you look through the years and some of the great 9s that they've had, put that Mickey Mack into Sam Powell, into Brad O'Neill.
That feels right, doesn't it?
Every single one of them just hit you hard tackling, makes 50 tackles.
And then also guide us around the park and keep it simple and play to your strengths of your team.
Mickey Mack had a reputation of being a tough player, and he was nasty and he was dirty or whatever.
He did
but
also.
His rugby brain.
He had a good rugby brain. He also played in a time where you could hit people a bit later and you could leave one on people.
The game was different.
Stuff like that. The game was a bit different then.
But my point is,
Sam Powell was never really that.
But how good were they at putting you in the right place, listening to calls, making the right decision time and time again? I think it's such an underrated aspect of a 9's game.
To talk about, while we're on Brad O'Neill, the reason he didn't play the whole game and the reason Tom Forber didn't come on was because Wigan gave a debut to Taylor Kerr.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I might have made a mistake. I think he played a bit longer than we give him credit for, though, Brad. I think he played about 70.
Oh, did he?
Because Taylor came on at 13 for a bit.
Well, that's the other interesting thing about Taylor is he can play 9 or 13. Now, I don't really know where his best position is. I've seen him play both pretty well. I'd like to see him get a lot of game time on loan somewhere and see where his best position is. But I'm also really glad he's made his debut for Wigan here because he is a bright spark. He's a talent clearly for the future.
All the talk from the people who watch him in the reserves is that he's a 13 that can play 9. Now, obviously,
I like that.
If he's being a 13, he's going to have to keep growing physically, develop. He's still very young. Playing in the middle, taking a lot of tough carries.
He is very young. I'll just keep dipping him in every now and again. Just dipping him in.
I know.
Nothing daft. Don't throw him in every time. Just keep it simple. We've got Tom Forber. He's solid. He's actually better than solid Tom Forber. He's a very good player. Brad O'Neill is now turning into one of our better players. I don't care if anybody disagrees with her. Brad O'Neill is one of our better players. You don't have to rush him in. We've got Cade Ellis, we've got Partington, who are doing that 13 role fine. You don't have to rush Taylor Kerr in. You've got him as an able backup now. If somebody gets injured, he's not making his debut. If somebody's ill, you don't have to risk them. Anything like that. And just keep dipping him in. Keep him out on loan. Keep him play for the reserve, whatever.
Well, Salford absolutely loved him the other week.
Yeah.
Game time.
Keep him playing men's rugby, keep him playing game time.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Now, shall we carry on with the game? Obviously, it's 14 points to 0 at this point. And again, a little bit of that block play, a little bit of shape. Brilliant hands again to get Zaki's double.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost perfect,
yeah,
really.
just lovely hands. Yeah, easy one for Zach to stroll in at the corner. It's 18-0. Could it be 20? You feel like it's a completely different game if it's 20, even though it's only a 2 points difference.
It's 4 converted tries.
It's 4 tries, yeah.
It just becomes a little bit more difficult. Now, one thing I do want to mention before we wrap up the Wigan game and whatnot was, I think a little bit here we just went a little bit sideways, a little bit trying to score the perfect try.
Yeah, a little bit like it reminded me of the Wakefield game we went to. You remember when we went to Pink Kit?
Yeah.
And we just put loads of points. I think it was the Pink Kit game. We put loads of points on. And then we chucked the ball about and tried to score off every play. And Pete went, I wasn't happy with that.
Yeah.
I wasn't happy with it. We cheated the game there a bit. I wasn't happy with that. I was
Obviously,
happy at the beginning. But
it was only for a 20-minute period, I'd say. Maybe either side of half time. But it was just a little bit...
I don't know how people think about this, because when we went to Vegas and we did that, he wasn't bothered. Because it was like, well, I told him to do that. It was my... we had to. Yeah,
we had to go out and...
put on a show.
But
whether he thinks this was different, I don't know.
Yeah,
I certainly do. I think you've got to respect the game a bit more on this one instead of throwing so many risks. But I think you earn the right to play, don't you?
Of course.
And you're 18 points up, and you've earned the right to play.
Yeah. 18-6 at half time. Good position to be in.
Bevan scores on a play that is broken up.
Yeah.
So we've got this play where we play wide and Walters tips
it back inside to Bevan.
And the defence reads it and still can't stop it.
Yeah.
Like, this just does not work.
I just wanted to talk about this specifically, and that's why I was looking for this moment. 2 weeks ago, I'm sure we mentioned it on the podcast, about Field and French and them guys, and 1% efforts. Bevan French has no right to score that try from them.
Nope.
And it's the sheer determination, the wrestle, the shrug off me, get off me. I'm getting over that line. It's sheer determination, and it's massive. It's so important, and that takes you from being a great player to a really, really top player, and that's the difference between them guys.
When your stars do that, then it obviously
it's infectious.
It's infectious, yeah. When your highest paid players are doing that, They did score next. Toulouse with the penalty try. I don't know about that one. It was a good move. It was a kick in behind. Marshall pulls him back.
Would he have got the
ref
adjudicated that he would have got?
I don't think it's 100% definitely going to get there, but also if he any doubt, then it's a yellow card anyway. So,
well, I actually had this thought at the time. At 24 points to 6, would you rather concede a penalty try and stay as 13, or have a penalty on your line?
If I'm to lose, I want the points. I want the penalty try.
What would you want if you were Wigan?
If I was Wigan, I would want I'd back my defence. Send him off. I'll defend our line. Actually, I'm not sure whether I would.
Do you know what I mean? 10 minutes down to 12 and they're starting. If they score in the first set...
Yeah, true. Actually, I reckon both teams probably wanted a penalty try.
Because if they score in that first set straight on your line, they've got 8 minutes.
If they cough it up straight away.
Yeah, I know there's no
So
guarantee.
that's what they'll be thinking. I think they'll take the guaranteed points there, but I also think Wigan won't be too disheartened to giving that one up.
Yeah, I think he
would have scored.
Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, isn't it? That takes it 24 points to 12. Jack Faz. We talked about him before.
This was when Kurt and Brad were on the field.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're right there with it. I mean, that's just a good step, isn't it? We've seen him do this before where he steps behind the ruck.
one thing we always talk about, when we talk about it with all our superstars, pace. Pace is frightening. And we've not seen Jack in the open yet, but his pace over 30, 40 yards is frightening. His step and his go is phenomenal. And it gets teams worried. It gets you over covering. It gets you working too hard almost.
When he hits the flat ball,
everything at pace is dangerous.
Yeah,
everything at pace is dangerous. We do round out the scoring.
Well, they scored that maybe no try, maybe try, where it was too hard to tell on the screen.
Yeah. But we do round up. Sorry, I completely forgot about that moment, but yeah, doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of the game, does it? Good work again from Jack. Really nice step. Hans Walters back on the inside.
He deserved that, Walters, for his performance.
He didn't look confident grounding it, did he?
Well, no, I was wondering why he wasn't putting it down, but he deserved a try for,
he
his,
did.
for his performance. I thought it was a good performance.
Yeah. He's doing really well, and it's probably worth mentioning now because we did put the tweet out about asking people to send in some questions, and one of the conversations was what happens to Faz when Wardle returns because of how big of a threat Walters is. And I do just want to say this, and I'm not skipping over the question, but I'm really not worried about that yet. We were talking about the situation where
how many weeks is Wardle's injury?
They said 8 to 10. I heard,
and it's already been 3 or 4, hasn't it?
That's
ages off. That's ages. There'll
be 3 more injuries.
I know that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem this season,
and that's almost why I'm not worried about it. Because let's be honest, if we pick up 2 injuries in the middle, when Faz comes back, he's going second row and Walters playing as a prop.
Yeah, it's an interesting question though. I do like the question. Walters is playing very, very well at the moment where he is.
There's 10 different possibilities. You could play him and Faz play left second row and bring December on after 20, like we were doing at the back end of last year. There's loads of different options.
Back through middle.
Or you rotate them, or one goes to the bench. Or you might just rest a couple, because we're going to have to rest players at this point. During
you
points of the
definitely
season.
have dodged the question.
I have, I have dodged the question.
But I don't know the answer, actually.
I don't think there's a right answer at the moment.
Just play with 3 second rows.
2 full-backs.
Well, the Saints got away with it, didn't they? They put that lad on back before it should have been, so maybe they won't notice.
I'd be interested if that was Wigan.
I know exactly what the sentiment will be if it was Wigan.
The RFL cheating for us again.
I know exactly what the sentiment will be.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much everything from the game.
Yes. Yeah.
Really, really good result.
Yes, another tricky tie negotiated. I mean, the cost of which is yet to be seen with the injury to our star man, our highest paid player. But yeah, it's a potentially very tricky tie navigated.
Yeah,
we had to beat him with a drop goal last time.
I'll just add to that. Obviously, it opens up a little bit of a gap.
Don't care.
But at this point in the season, all I'm talking
4 games, I don't care how much of a gap
we've got. But what I mean by that is we're just talking about picking up points early.
Yeah, and Toulouse away is a banana skin, isn't it? Potential banana skin.
They'll have 3 or 4 upsets at home.
Oh, at least they had 3 or 4 upsets last time. They're a better side this year. Yeah.
And I just think we're 4 from 4. If we'd have won all 4 games by 5-10 points, I'd took your hands. I'd took your hands at the start of the season.
I mean, there's the awesome performance against Lee, the really pretty good performance for an hour against LFC. There was a decent performance here. There was a okay performance against Cass.
Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
The performances are better than where I wanted them to be. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and it's very early season, so you're thinking, are you wasting these performances? But we've set out to obviously make a statement. One time Trophy's back. Peter will have them ready. I'm sure there'll be a dip in form, and the important thing is not to panic. We have a dip in form every year. Every team does.
We should have been sacked every year, Pete.
Well, not if you listen to us.
Well,
because every time we've made the grand final, I know we've lost it, but that's a success for most teams in the league, is getting to the grand final.
Yeah.
We'll have this dip at some point this year. We might have 2 dips this year. I don't care. We'll be back. We'll be fine. We'll be up near the top of the table.
Let's see what we're at come August.
So unless we have 13, 14 injuries again, like we did that time we're underweighing.
Touch wood.
We don't have that happen again. Goodness me, that was bad. Remember that?
But yeah, it's one of them. Come to August and you start looking at where you are in league positions, and you're coming around to playing everyone twice. You'll play the majority of teams twice, but you'll be, you know what I mean, coming towards the end of the league season, then you can start thinking about what you need to do to win.
Well, it's obviously interesting. It's still not perfect because there is still one league fixture. But it'd be interesting to see how teams approach the League Leaders' Shield this year.
Mm. And what you need to do to win it.
In past years, the past few years, it's been quite competitive. Teams have gone all out for the League Leaders' Shield.
Yeah.
Just got to get back to that.
Right. I think we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go around the grounds. So, going around the grounds, 7 other games to talk about this week. 6 games. 6 games, already made a mistake there. And again, all of them were decent games, competitive. There's not a blowout that I can think of.
Well, Sunday was a bit of a disappointment, but we'll get on to that.
Yeah. Starting off on Thursday, though, Wakefield, Hull FC. Hull FC obviously decimated by injuries.
Yeah.
Wakey not doing too much better with injuries. 14 points to 10 win after being 10-0 down.
Mm.
And
fun game this. I liked a lot of what I saw from Wakefield.
yeah.
Which is strange because they only won by 4 points against Injury Ravage. But once they went 14-10 up, I never thought they were going to concede.
No, I thought they defended really well. And I do want to talk about something that was massively important in this game. The try right before half-time. More hopeful punt than anything.
It's a horrendous miss, though. It was a horrendous misread from
Litton and Briscoe.
Litton, yeah. Well,
I'm going to put some blame on Briscoe as well.
Do you think Briscoe deserves some blame?
Yeah, just watch his movement in it.
Mm.
And as a you can't block players. Yeah, you can't be an escort as they now say. And he tries to be an escort and runs past the play.
Mm.
Ball bounces on where he would have been, and Litton's in no man's land. I just think, Litton had a bad week the week before under the high ball. I think maybe because you just take a bit of pressure off him. I don't know. Something to have a look at.
Wakey doing it without the wingers out, and they saw.
Yeah, I do want to add something to that because I was very confused when I looked at the lineups of this.
Oh, Will Tate was on the wing.
The starting winger in the squad, I think it's Ollie Pratt, was named on the bench. I was named at centre, sorry.
He is a centre though, really, Ollie Pratt.
But
he's really a
Cam Scott, one of the 2, 3 or 4, I can't remember which one it was named on the bench. And then they had 2 young wingers, and I'm like...
But Pratt didn't... He got caught in field a couple of times against Warrington, and he's a centre. He's not defending well on the wing.
Yeah, but I just
getting back to centre.
But I do just think if you're talking about injuries and being... You're obviously missing Tom Johnstone, your star winger.
Yeah, get all 3 of them. I know what you mean. Get all 3 of them in your back line. Yeah,
especially if you've already got one young lad in.
He's not far off though. Johnston.
One of the lads I've got to mention, Jake Truman. I always thought he was going to be a world beater, and he has had a dreaded run of injuries, and I'm quite hopeful to see him get a run of games together.
Yeah,
someone that I've always liked as a player, but just been probably the most unfortunate player I've seen for injuries for a long time.
Definitely up there, isn't he? He's had some real bad ones and feel like
all. Is it double ACL?
Yeah, he's had some real horrendous injuries.
Yeah,
robbed him of probably his best years. But
yeah, should we go over to Friday's games?
Yeah,
we said it was a big game. League Catalan go there and get the win.
Yeah,
takes them to 4 points, 2 wins out of 4 after 2 poor performances. Lee struggling. 1 win.
Mm-hmm.
It's just...
Yeah, I mean, they had a tough start, they did have a tough start. We said that, but you would be expecting this one to be one of your bankers, really, especially when you think Catalan. They did lose against Bradford.
But do you not think this just shows how much of a funny old game rugby league is? We won the first game at Leeds.
Yeah.
And we said, if they can get one more from Saints Wigan, you'd snatch your hands off for that at the start of the season. They then implode in that second half at Saints, get butchered by us.
Well, everyone was crowning them after one round, and that's why you don't crown anybody after a round.
But what I mean is they get butchered by us. You lose to Catalans, and everyone's saying you're in trouble now because you're 1 win from 4.
They're in trouble.
And it doesn't get much easier, does it? Holding the cup and then going to Wakey.
There's no easy games this year, apart from Huddersfield.
And maybe Cast, depending on which one.
If you're playing them at all, maybe.
Big win for Catalans, though. Big win. After
a huge win for Catalan.
Some poor performances, if we're being honest.
Yeah, but really, really big win for Catalan.
Yeah.
They were bad actually against Saints. They were bad against Bradford. But ill-disciplined, and they weren't in this game.
Yeah,
it doesn't take much to sharpen it up.
You just keep hold of the ball, it helps, doesn't it?
You complete high, and you keep hold of the ball, and you don't give away silly penalties, which was the problem against Bradford. And against Saints, really, because they kept conceding barge overs because they were giving them 6 agains.
Yeah. Now, one of the other promoted teams, talked about Toulouse before, York hosted Warrington. There's something about these promoted teams, not just...
They give it a real good go.
They're not sliding away.
As someone in York might say.
Yeah. They're not... I thought York give it away when they played Leeds. Before Leeds went to Vegas and sort of got blown away towards the end. They showed a lot of fight here and they've not got the rewards for it.
But points galore on that.
Yeah, 38 points to 30 Wyatt win. Wyatt will be happy obviously with a 38, but you would expect Burgess to be.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed. He will be disappointed. They give up 5 tries. Well, 6, wasn't it, actually? Because there was a lot of goals missed across both sides here. But I think he'll be disappointed, yes. But also, he got away with a try. He got away with 2 points there, where that was a potential misstep when they did let a lot of tries in against a promoted side where you expect to beat them.
Without being funny.
And they survived.
Warrington last year probably lose that game.
Yeah.
So, big improvement there. Paul Vaughan, though, gets to try against the old club. The semi-detached house.
Well, I think actually he's starting to look like a bargain.
I said this the other week. I made a joke with Lewis when we were watching the Toulouse game that he's showing why he paid $250,000 for.
We paid $250,000 for Paul Vaughan, and it's actually turned into a bargain. He might get in the dream team. If I was picking a dream team now, Paul Vaughan would be in it.
Yeah, he's playing really, really well.
Absolute bargain. He's worth a detached house with good transport links, close to the inner city. Good schools area, yeah.
Big back garden.
Amenities, some in Batter nearby.
Yeah.
High street. Job lot. That's what
real marquee money.
Real marquee money.
Yeah. Right. One other game on Saturday. Now, the handicap was 24.5 points on that, and we all said, whoa, and I don't want to ruin the prediction bit.
We all said, no way, that's too many points.
Yeah.
They're not playing Huddersfield.
26 points to 22. Saints win.
St Helens needed a try by Dion Cross to win this game right near the end.
Yeah.
Although it was coming, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
They
spent the last 10 minutes knocking on the door and having good field position.
That's what happens when you're down to 12
Bradford just clearing
25 minutes.
What do we think about this red? Well, I mean, let me just say it's the reddest of red cards.
It's a red card.
Actually, what Paposhi did was the reddest of red cards.
I think the question is should Clemmer have been a red as well?
That was going to be my next question, yes. He's been treated harshly by the old disciplinary panel.
Well, it is a case of if he gives it red,
it's not as harsh.
It's not as harsh because he got a yellow. Saints would probably take a yellow now, get the 2 points and go on. Bradford want the red. And that's not right, because if it's a red, it should be punished like it's a red card. And I think this was a red.
I think they're probably both reds.
There's no point punishing someone after the offence.
Bradford
Don't see the benefit of this.
Bradford. No, but it was a bad tackle, wasn't it?
I thought it was a red.
I did see some fans say it's not even a penalty. My question then would be, do you have eyes?
Are we in 2002?
A big penalty in 2002, I think.
Yeah. 2007, it's on report.
Oh yeah, it's going on report for a lot of our lives. That's going on report, and nothing's happening.
I never understood the report because they just review everything anyway.
But not report. Well, nowadays in the NRL, it means you can activate the 18th man.
Yeah, it's
something to do with the 18th man.
But they put people on report and Simbin them.
Oh yeah, they just put people on report as because it's something to do.
Just to say I've not missed this.
They just like making the sign.
Yeah. But again, I want to say, sorry, I should mention in this game, a couple of big injuries. Jacob Host.
Yeah, Jacob Host, he has broken his leg or broken a bone in his leg.
Yeah.
I've seen the X-ray posted.
I've not seen that. Is it
bad?
bad?
Grim.
Delaney failed a hit.
It's like a to one side.
Oh,
to one side. So yeah, it was a bit nasty that. Delaney failed a HIA. McDonald, he was not running very well at all. And then
he went off.
He went off, but he didn't start the game running very well.
He went off injured the week before.
Yeah, I'm questioning whether really he should have played. But they know better than me.
Yeah, we have got to mention one more thing, and you alluded to it before.
Oh yes, I did.
Joe Shoz keeping that Wigan in him by having the RFL let him on the field early.
Yeah, so I didn't know what was going on here because somebody asked me, did Joe Shorrocks come back from the field early? And I thought back to Origin last year when somebody got sin-binned.
Yes.
And it was at the Hooter at the end of the first half. And the time it took for Valentine Holmes to kick the goal was subtracted from his 10 minutes. And so I thought maybe if Bradford took the 2 originally, when they originally got binned, maybe that was taken off the 10 minutes and Sky didn't know that rule. No, let me be clear. That's the sort of thing Sky would do.
Yes.
Not know that rule and still be counting 10 minutes when actually he still had... He was ready to come back on. Then I thought, well, the clock's been wrong anyway for most of the games this year. It's probably just a clock
mistake
error from Sky. The RFL's clock was probably correct. And so there was no problems. It was just Sky made error. I think he'd come on too early. And then they apologised for it this morning.
Yeah, it said it was a timekeeper.
A timekeeper error.
I don't get it, me. Because, one, it's the most rudimentary thing to happen. It's happened, can't change it, done, move on. It probably hasn't affected the result of that. And when he came back on, they conceded.
Not St Helens' fault.
No, but what I mean is they actually then went and conceded.
Yeah.
So, and they didn't score an extra try while he was on or whatever.
It hurts more for Bradford because did you know last year Erib Doro was binned against Toulouse and he ended up serving almost 12 minutes because they'd forgot to start the stopwatch. And it's like it's a double whammy for Bradford. They had to make Erib Doro sit for 12 minutes last year, and now Shorrocks is only sitting for 8.
Yeah, but my point being is you do normally see a player as it's getting to 10 minutes goes and waits on the line. Shoz was waiting on the line, so who makes that call? Does the linesman say?
No, they get told. The interchange official goes to tell them. Right, you go ready to come up.
You've had 9 minutes.
You've had your time. Come on up, ready to come on. And then when it's actually officially 10 minutes, then they can come on.
Because that's what I mean. So clearly the sounds there that he's been called up early.
Well, it's not Shorrocks' job to sit there and go 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi and get to 10 minutes.
That's what I mean. It's not like...
If he gets told, right, that you're ready to come back on, he'll just say yes.
That's what I'm trying to get at. It's not like the coach has said, you go and warm up, you're coming on in 2. And he's jogging up and down the sideline, and then someone's just grabbed him and said, "Oh, your time's up, you can go on."
He'll have been told to.
That's what I mean.
Said, well, you're nearly ready to come on now. Come up, and he would have gone up.
Yeah.
I think Saints will be delighted to have escaped with 2 points there when they didn't deserve it. Bradford didn't deserve to lose, but they did. And when teams win and they don't play well, we know it's a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason. Sign of a good team.
Yeah, I mean,
we escaped with the 2 points.
We said it at the start of the season for these teams that want the top 6.
Got to win these games.
2 points matters, that's it.
Got to win these games.
2 points matters, move on. Yeah, and obviously we're going to move on to Sunday now. It's the same for these two teams, Leeds and KR. They both want to be in the top 6.
It's such a big difference, doesn't it? Like, one moment, one try for Dion Cross changes completely the complexion of everyone's thoughts about St Helens. Probably don't change Bradford that much. What we thought about Bradford is what we still think about Bradford. But if Saints lose that game by 2 points, the world caves in for the fans.
You end up, you're 4 games in, you've won 2 games.
You've lost against Bradford at home.
Yeah.
And that's criminal.
And
they had a man sent off.
So,
like what we think about St Helens is completely different. Whereas now we're thinking, they've won 3 from 4. They're on a roll. They're playing well. Yeah, they've had a couple of injuries in this game, but they're playing well. All because of that one moment from Dion Cross. It's a funny old game.
Yeah. It's funny. And I always say 10 games. You know where everyone will be after 10 games.
Well, Easter weekend is not 10 games, is it? But I think by then we normally know.
It'll be 8, I think.
Do you remember 2023?
Oh, go on. You got me thinking here now. 2023, yeah.
Easter was when we started to see who the runners and riders were going to be in the league that year.
Yes.
And it was like Wigan, Saints, Catalan pulled away then.
Yes, it was, yeah.
At Easter time. Some years it's not. So, some years like the quad year, some years you're a front runner the whole time.
Mm. Well, I'm just looking at that 2023 season and pretty much everyone knew who the top 3 were. And Hull, KR, Lee, Wire were a little bit behind that with Saints, with Salford. It was like, well, who'll make the 6, who'll get the home semi? That was already the talk, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, good point, that Matty. Right. 2 Sunday games. Obviously, both teams back from Vegas. And
yeah, go and put them on a Sunday, it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea. But I want to throw into this, the big thing for these is 2 points after Vegas. And
could one of these been on at 2 o'clock and one on at 4 o'clock? Especially when there's no Super Sunday.
Yeah.
It's kind of the one Sunday of the year, well, this bit of the year where there was no Super Sunday because it was FA Cup. We could have had a 2 o'clock or a 2:30 and a 4. Or some sort of... I mean, the daft thing was they said Wigan and Saints was staggered because there were half an hour between the kick-off times.
Yeah.
I feel like we could stagger these a bit better.
I do just wonder whether they go 3 o'clock on a Sunday because then it's for both them teams coming back.
I'm sure there's a big difference from 1:30 to 3 o'clock, isn't there?
Yeah, that would be the argument. But yeah, the objective's clear here for Leeds and KR is to just get 2 points. Cass and Huddersfield. See if you can upset a team who
come back from Vegas. You've got a chance, haven't they?
Yeah. Should we start with a team that did have a remote chance? And
Castle Tigers had a remote chance.
Yeah. 22 points to 4, they beat Leeds.
No.
They lost to Leeds at Leeds. Again, I thought they were in it early on. They stuck with them. Sevo obviously got 3 tries. I think I sent you a text. What's that joke about being marked by wingers? Wingers score many so many
wingers
tries.
Score, does God tell us his best joke? Wingers score a lot of tries because they're marked by wingers. Because Ravelao was marking.
Yeah. I get that he's a...
Yeah, but when he did it to Ben Jones-Bishop, we said, that's Ben Jones-Bishop, he's 38,000 years old. Then when he did it to Tom Davis, we went, oh, that's good, you can't do that to Tom Davis normally. And he's done it to Ravelao, who's a big body. Done it to all 3 kinds now. The old, the good, and the big. Those are the only 3 kind of wingers we have. Old, good, or big.
I just don't think that was a decent attempt on him.
The worst thing was
at least Davies put a decent attempt in on him.
Oh, Ben Jones-Bishop hit him with all of his 48 years of experience.
He's getting older here, Ben Jones-Bishop. Ben Jones-Bishop used 57 years worth of
experience. No, he used all of his thousands of Super League games experience to hit him with all he's got, and he still scored. There's one video from the weekend which I thought was AI generated in the world of misinformation, which was Ravelao under a high ball. We just let it. Didn't try and catch it. Just let it hit him. It's like What are you doing?
It's just...
He's going to score tries. Like, that's a given. He's going to score tries. Like that one where he shows him the touchline. Well, he should sort of show him the touchline. Instead, he just falls over.
Just runs past him, and it looks like someone who wants to make it look like he's trying to tackle him.
I could make it look like I was tackling him better than that.
That's a bit my
That's
point.
somebody who's had a horrendous miss. He's not tried to miss him.
But how? Sivo hasn't started running. He's caught the ball. He's a stationary target. And I just... One of his tries at Vegas was a great finish. It was a really, really good finish. Grabs Davis, pins him over, scores, great finish.
Fanua style.
Yeah, but he hasn't scored 9 great tries worth of ability. I know he has a walk-in off a mistake from a kick, and that is what it is. Ravawala doesn't really want to catch the ball at all. That is what it is as a winger. You do get some walk-ins.
Yeah.
But you know he's a devastating attacker. You know he will run over people. You have to be better in that first contact and actually try and deal with him. Because if you let him get your head up a steam and you let him run at you, he'll run over you. I get frustrated sometimes because, again, not even drawing a man and he just walks in for the final try.
Well, this was a game you watched which got you hot under the collar, clearly. In our assignments for the podcast, we watched different games.
Can I say one more thing on this? Yeah. Sorry, because it is not ever going to start well if from the first kickoff none of you go for the ball. It nearly goes out of play. You're diving to keep it back in, and Tom Weaver does really, really well. Yeah, and your first tackle is 1 metre away from your own. You should be on the 20. You know what I mean? Thinking, let's get on the front foot and roll a tired lead side. And a poor kick just means that you're in. I just think it's not a way to start a game if you want to go to somewhere and turn a team over. Maybe that's something of nothing, but...
I what you mean.
Go on, you watched Hull KR.
Yeah, I did, yeah. That was my job for this weekend, was to watch Hull KR and Huddersfield. I messaged you to tell you one important thing from this game, which was about George Flanagan. So Hull KR, they made a bit of a half break, and Mikey Lewis tried a miracle offload to Litton, where if Litton catches it, he walks in. He doesn't catch it, he drops the ball. His teammates all console him, patting him on the back, whatever. What you see every time somebody makes an error. He's trying to score a try.
No problem with it.
Mikey Lewis doesn't go and pat him on the back because he's been harassed by George Flanagan, who's celebrating right in his face. Now, he is known for doing that himself, Mikey, to other opponents, which, fair enough, you might want to give it him back. I don't know. He does seem to be easy to wind up. What then you can't do is immediately cough the ball up and let Tom Davies score. Straight away. That's what you can't do. That's what you can't do. Huddersfield, honestly, I've advocated for them to be in Super League every time we've had the conversation.
Can I just say one more thing on that? What you then can't do if you're George Flanagan is when Mikey Lewis and Jez Litton are running at you later on.
Yeah.
2-on-1. The one thing I ever got told about being a fullback was you have to take someone. If you go for the big miracle interception play, you'll make yourself look stupid more times than you...
Well, you could have asked Matt Doherty about that, never mind you.
And Lewis doesn't even dummy, and he gets through. I just think...
Yeah. Well, I do think that... Well, like I said, Huddersfield... I've advocated for them to be in Super League every time we've had the conversation. I've had them in as a kind of not exactly non-negotiable, but kind of like they're in. And the reasons for that are birthplace of rugby league. I like the brand Giants. Claret and Gold is different. They've got a big stadium. They've got an owner who's clearly passionate and will never really see them in financial
Yeah, they're never going to be in financial
misery. But at this point, I'm being made to look a fool for saying all those things because they are pretty pointless. Come on.
To go back to the Flanagan having a go at someone, you're 3 games in and got 0 points. And you're playing the world champs.
And 3 teams came up and everyone went, oh, there's not enough talent for 3 new teams to be formed from scratch. And one of them didn't even bother forming a team from scratch. I'll be honest, Toulouse didn't even bother. And they're all better. None of them won this week. But they've all won at least 1 game. They've all won 2 games, haven't they? They've all won 2 games each. And they all put up a good fight. And Huddersfield haven't put up a good fight in any of the games they played, really, apart from one against Wakey where they came back late.
I just want to go on to that. They lost to Catalans in Catalans, who then turned out to play 2 awful games the 2 weeks after. So you're not thinking, oh, Catalans are flying. They lose to Wakey at home when Wakey are struggling and it takes a 10-minute comeback to even get close.
But Wakey were already miles ahead.
Yeah. You get butchered by Castle, the other team down the bottom 2 last year. I know we're ignoring Salford in that, but the bottom 2. And you got butchered by Cass.
I just think at this point, what is the point of them being here?
So Lewis can back them every week and lose.
I know we said that about Salford last year, but there was a reason for that. There's no reason they're this bad. They've had how many opportunities? How many years of central funding? How many years have they had to build a squad? And they're consistently putting out a worse performance than 3 teams who had a month to build a squad and they were all competing with each other. I get Castleford aren't playing great. And they didn't play great this week. And they lost that game at Toulouse. But when they played each other, they got absolutely walloped by Castleford. And in the other games, Castleford, they've at least had a few bright moments. They've at least fought for each other. And like I said, when they played against Huddersfield, they were dominant. They were a dominant force, absolutely dominated. So if you're Huddersfield and you can't even get close to Cass, what are you going to do with the rest of this season? Who are you actually going to beat?
I'm just looking at the Huddersfield squad from last year and the squad this year. Wolford, Toulouse here, Adam Clune, Tristan Powell, Jacob Gagai, Tan Emil. They're your overseas, they're your quarter players. They have 4 spots to go and get someone. And
Tristan Powell.
They've got Tristan Powell. They've got...
This is the point, we don't know any of them. I'm assuming they have.
9. Who's the 9?
Did they get a 9?
And I'm just like, yeah, you're using all your quarter spots. Yeah, you are, whatever, they brought in Niall Evans, who's there for the full season now and whatnot. I am not excited by anyone. And Asher O'Donnell, a second rower.
Remember they thought they were getting Kai.
Chris Patolo.
Well, aside from the poor use of quarter spots, it's Huddersfield after all. You're not going to attract the best players. They finished near the bottom last year.
But then you've got to be cleverer. You've got to be cleverer. I'm just looking at Adam Clune. Adam Clune's been there since 2024 and played 30 games.
Do you think if Andy Ackers was given the opportunity, he would have gone to Huddersfield?
Or I'd have gone Bradford.
That's my point. Do you think Paul Vaughan, if he was given... I mean, Huddersfield got the money to pay for Paul Vaughan. He's a semi-detached house. He got that kind of money. They spent it on Big Burgess.
I was just going to say, the one difference is, if I was Paul Vaughan, I'd be thinking I could go and play alongside Tom Burgess. I've got a big partner there next to me as well. But Burgess can't carry that pat by himself.
No. Well,
he was never a starting prop, really.
10 years ago, he
was. But he was never really a starting prop then, was he?
No.
He was an impact, short burst.
Yeah.
And I just think it's all balanced wrong.
George Flanagan came into the media today and said he knows that Huddersfield could be a big force. And I agree with him. He thinks it could be a force in Super League. I agree with him. They don't need much more than Bradford need.
No.
They just need new stadium, probably. It's a bit smaller. Get a few more fans through the door. They need, I think, probably a new coach. Definitely a new strength and conditioning team. New physios. Probably a new spine. Some new forwards to go in the pack. Get them some go forward. Maybe another clinical winger to go alongside Halsall. Maybe an impact player off the bench. They don't need loads, you see what I mean? They only need 13 or 14 new players, a whole new staff and a new stadium plus loads of fans.
I'm going to say a date to you. 11th of July, 2024. They sacked Ian Watson.
Was it really so late, they sacked Watson? Wow, I thought it was earlier than that.
2022, he gets to the final and loses to us. 23.
They finished fourth.
Yeah.
Or was that 22?
24 is when it falls off. I think 24, 23, did they not just miss out on the playoffs?
Oh yeah, they missed out on the final day.
Because they got to the cup final and finished fourth. Miss out to the playoffs. And then go downhill.
And then went downhill, yeah.
And I just think... I bet they regretted sacking him.
Do you know... they finished top. Was it 10 years ago?
Yeah, it'd be around then, yeah.
It was about then. They still weren't filling that stadium.
No.
Not even half. The actual day they lifted the League Leaders Shield, they had 8,000 fans. They averaged 5 that year. The year they finished top, they averaged 5. And I'm sitting there saying, Huddersfield got to be in. It's birthplace of rugby league, Giants. Get the Huddersfield Giants, got to be in. Not anymore. It pains me to actually say that. It pains me to even think of a Super League without Huddersfield. And yet, what are they bringing? Why am I like this? Why am I saying this? Why does it pain me?
I just don't... How... Where do they improve?
Well, I just told you what they need. That would get them into the playoffs.
But if you was going to do something right now for tomorrow, or we're back in December 2025 and you're trying to fix it for this season, who are you starting with? What are you starting with?
Go forward. Props. I'd probably start with go forward.
Get a better head coach.
Yeah, but we don't know who's available for head coaching jobs. We know what props were available because of who moved.
Well, Brian Carr has gone to Cass.
Yeah.
He must think Huddersfield's a better prospect considering they were in a Challenge Cup final two years beforehand.
I don't know if that's true, mate. I don't know if you were looking at those two squads last year and you're asking me, right, you can come in, you can have open heart surgery, you can bring in 10, 11 players for each of these two teams, which one are you doing? I think you'd probably pick Cass. It's a tough conversation to have. It's a tough question to answer.
Who runs the rugby side of Huddersfield?
Is it not Ken Davey?
I think the only team without a director of rugby.
Well, I don't know actually. There must be somebody because I remember Ken Davey meeting Tristan Powell for the first time when he first came over.
Andy Kelly.
But you don't know what sort of a job Andy Kelly's doing because what's the messaging?
Well, I only say that because you look at all the teams that have been struggling over the past couple of years. You've heard everything from Richie Myler.
Chris Chester.
You've heard a lot from Chris Chester. You haven't heard anything from Huddersfield full stop. Let alone Andy Kelly. And so I'm just a bit...
Well, we do hear the odd random comment from Robinson.
Yeah, like he's a bit involved in training this week because they've got so many injuries. Well, why have they got so many injuries? Maybe look into that.
Well, they are looking into that. That was one of our news sections last week, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's really helped, that big review into it.
Well, it won't be finished yet, will it? Maybe the review is, Luke, you've got to get in at half.
You might get a game next week.
Yeah. Big G is in forwards for training. Mascot Big G. They've got Earl Crabtree back.
Hey, listen, Earl Crabtree's still playing. Plays a bit of rugby union. I follow him on Instagram. Sure, he could do a job.
Yeah, probably could, actually. That's the embarrassing thing about Huddersfield right now.
Let's just flip through the recently retired prop list.
Right, recently retired players who could go there.
What's Chris Hill doing?
Chris Hill, 100%. He would be back at Huddersfield in a heartbeat if you asked him.
Dingy Lawrence.
Mike Lawrence, Iron Mike. These are all players who just left Huddersfield anyway.
They were both at Bradford, weren't they, last year?
Get McGilvery back. Get Leroy Cudjoe back. Get, what was that blonde-haired lad he always used to score against us? Aaron Murphy. Get him back.
Yes, yeah.
Ben Jones-Bishop. Well, he's not played for Huddersfield yet. He's played for everybody else. But get him in.
Matty Russell's due a loan.
Matty Russell's he's due a loan to the West Yorkshire.
That's so bad. And KR, we haven't really mentioned KR.
Because they beat Huddersfield.
Yeah, this is going to be an on-running theme. I can't wait for the Wigan section when we play.
If we beat Huddersfield, the Wigan
We're
section,
just skipping it.
We'll go straight to around the ground.
Yeah. Right.
We nearly lost to them last year. We needed a last-minute try.
Yeah. Even a broken clock's twice a day, innit?
Yeah, let's Josh Shorrock's back on early.
Right. I think we'll take a quick break and we'll come back and go through the predictions. So, time for a predictions roundup. No new predictions this week, with it being the Challenge Cup round.
Mm-hmm.
So, purely Super League predictions.
Yeah, I went on the Super League website today and it said next game Wigan versus York. And I went, oh, really?
Yeah.
But it's because there's a gap for the Challenge Cup.
Yes. So, first result was we all went Wakefield. Wakefield had 6.5 start.
No. -6.5.
-6.5 over Hull FC. They only won by 4, so none of us get that.
No, Wakey won the game but did not cover the spread.
Yep. Again, Lee versus Catalan. Lee were -8.5 on a handicap.
And they didn't win.
Everyone went Lee, and Catalan's won. So another team out there. Now York, Warrington. Me, Lewis, and the fans all went Warrington with -14.5. You had York to cover the spread. They covered the spread.
Yes, smug face from me there because York did me a favour.
I can see the smugness.
By getting close enough. 8 points they lost by.
Yep.
Good effort.
Probably the easiest prediction of the week. St. Helens -24.5.
Way too many.
None of us thought they would cover the spread. They didn't. Us three and the fans all went Bradford. Same in the Hull KR Huddersfield game. Hull KR were -12.5.
That one was actually easy because they were playing Huddersfield.
Yeah, but it's going to get to the point in it where it's like -38.5.
Yeah.
And you're still questioning whether you back the spread. Yeah, we all went Hull KR. They did that convincingly, covered the spread by 26 points. And then finally, the Leeds versus Castleford. -16.5 for Leeds. Me, you, and Lewis went for Castleford. Not to win the game. We all said Leeds would win the game, but not cover the spread. They win by 18 points, meaning the fans gain a point there.
This was that one like last week where the line was 10.5 and Warrington won by 11.
That's why.
It was a good line, that one.
Very, very good line. Makes the predictions
So the fans got 3, I got 3, you two both got 2. Remember when we did the predictions previously and everyone was getting 5 or 6 every single week? Now, with the introduction of the spread, it's interesting because we would have all said Leeds, we would have all said Wakefield. So we would have all got... And I would have said Warrington.
Yeah,
so we would have all got 4. No, we would all got
just-
5. We would all got 5, right?
Yeah.
And then it would have been alright boring. Everyone got 5 out of 6 because they got Lee wrong.
Yeah, looking good. I just checking, that takes Lewis to 7. The fans to... Sorry.
The fans will be on 7 as well.
Fans on 7. Matty, that takes you to 5, and I'm sat on 5 as well.
Okay. Early days.
Early days.
Early
Don't
days.
win anything in March.
No, you don't. That's right.
Yeah.
Apart from sometimes the Locker Cup, if it's an early one.
Right, that wraps up the predictions. We'll be back next week with more.
Yes, next week we will be predicting again
Yeah.
for Super League.
And, you know, it is 23 more rounds to go. Right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back with what's caught your eye, Matty. So, starting off with a little bit of news. The Mark Percival situation seems to have been knocked on the head for a year.
Kick down the road.
Yeah, he signed a 1-year extension for 2027.
I wonder if it's the same one they originally offered him.
They originally offered him a 2-year deal, apparently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, keyword the...
Maybe they could only find half the page.
Which half, top or bottom?
Don't know.
Must be bottom.
Must be first half, because they're not giving him a contract for 2028 and not 2027. That'd be funny. You've got a 1-year deal, you've got to go somewhere else first. Like
Yeah.
them on Come Fly Away when they booked that big fella 2 seats and they're in different parts of the play.
Yeah, this feels like it's a little bit needed, especially with the injuries
Yeah,
to
they
Wells,
needed
Bin,
probably-
Nene.
Yeah, it's been good news for them. You know, Percival staying for another year.
Yeah.
Right.
Quite a few bans this week.
Yes,
Carl Lawton's picked up 3 games.
3 games for Grade E against Huddersfield.
Did you see that? Or
No, I
did
didn't
you-
notice anything, but it must have been
Bad to pick up
must have
in
been when I
it.
was in a Wi-Fi dead spot or something.
Bradford have missed. Have got 2.
Yeah, he
banned.
got that red card. Got a ban, yeah.
I'm not surprised.
Porsche.
That's
yeah.
a proper high one.
Connor Wrench.
Yes.
That's just what Huddersfield... Well, it's 1 out of 20 members of the squad that Huddersfield need. Connor Wrench, we were a bit disappointed when he retired last year, because he was a good player.
Yeah. Again, I am asking, do they need an outside back?
Well, it wouldn't be top of my priority list, but they
With
did,
Sam Hall, Tane Milne,
plus the one they just signed
Galgai,
from Catalan.
Tanguy Zenon, Adam Swift back soon.
Mm.
Who's the other backup centre they've got? Whoever it is. I'm not certain I'd be spending extra money on an outside back. I know they're down, depleted. Don't think any of them ones are massively long injuries though.
No.
Coach Connor Wrench playing at full back if he needed.
Yeah, maybe. I was just thinking maybe some...
They move Flanagan to 6, but
don't know.
they've got Ollie Russell, Clune,
Yeah.
I do think I'd be spending my money on a
Forward.
retired forward.
Yeah, well, we'll see how that goes for them. Fletcher Rooney out for 3 months.
Don't play full back, kids.
Don't play fullback in 2026. A lot of injuries to fullbacks, haven't there been? A lot of injuries.
Yes.
They've all been different. A lot of them are different. Like, look at Morg, that was just a real unlucky. Got his arm caught in the tackle in the wrong place. It was really unlucky injury. Unfortunate that.
Just a mad run of injuries. That has seen Luke Robinson involved in training.
Luke Robinson's definitely going to be involved in training.
Yeah. I do want to mention something. This might not necessarily be news. Maybe it could have been brought up in around the grounds or whatnot. But was a comment from Sam Burgess about a reality check after the York scare. He said he welcomed it. I'm a little bit surprised by them comments.
Well, they weren't exactly dominant against Wakefield the week before, and he said, that was a tough test. We needed a tough test after a week off, and we've come through it. I thought that messaging was great. I don't know if he should be saying...
I'd also be worried if your squad needed a reality check after 2 games.
Well, maybe he doesn't really mean reality check.
That's what I mean. It's just a bit of a weird thing to say.
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't know how I feel about that one.
Maybe he just means it was a bit of a test
Wake-up
and we
call.
got through it and we're going to be better for it.
Yeah.
What caught your eye this week?
Quite a lot, really.
Tell you what caught mine.
Go on.
Another day in the office.
The Noffice.
Yeah. The Novice. If anyone's not seen this, there is a podcast that we both like to listen to, the John's Family Podcast. And Alex Twal was on it. Now, if you don't know Alex Twal, if you don't watch the NRL, Alex Twal is basically, if you took the least intelligent rugby player in the Super League and then divided his IQ by 14, that's basically Alex Twal. He is cart the egg, make my tackles, left foot move forward, right foot move forward, maybe offload.
Do you remember when he couldn't remember the West Tigers
song? He couldn't remember the song.
But kept trying anyway.
So Alex Twal is they call him. Well, Fletcher and Hindy have been winding him up for years, Twal, and he had the record, didn't he, for the most games without scoring a try. Which he
got that. He got 2 in 2 weeks,
which
didn't
he finally broke, and then he got another one the following week. So Alex Twal, not the sharpest tool in the shed, I may say, but a lovely guy. Looks like really funny. Like you'd love to go for a pint with him. He looks hilarious to be honest. Anyway, he's talking to the Johns family about David Nofaluma,
currently of York,
previously of Salford, and before that West Tigers for many years. And he's saying that Alex Twal said he once congratulated David Nofaluma on winning West Tigers Player of the Year. And the response from Nofaluma was, "Bro, it's just a day in the office. Just another day in the office."
I think Cooper Johns goes on to say that he said that in front of Bellamy, didn't he?
Yeah,
because he went on loan to Melbourne.
He went on loan to the Storm and said another day in the office, and Bellamy was not happy.
What was it that he was praising him for making like 180 metres in kick returns, and he said it's just what I do. Another day in the office.
Another day in the office. I can imagine like the voice being so laughing so hard at that though. Yeah, that is really, really funny. And York did a highlights video for his 2 tries that he scored last week in the win. That was just hilarious, really hilarious. Another day in the office. That caught my eye.
Definitely. A couple from me. One of them was over in the NRL. Cullen Matungi's performance, first half. 19 carries, 230 metres, I think it was.
And was he playing back row or was he playing prop?
Playing prop.
Right, okay. That's
prop.
obscene. I mean, it's obscene wherever he's playing.
But
in the first half?
In the first half.
Yeah.
One half of rugby, 19 carries, 230 metres, I think it was.
He was a machine.
It's as good as any prop performance you will see.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. I noticed Scott Carson.
Yes.
Did you spot Scott Carson at Vegas?
I didn't, because when you sent the picture, I had to ask who it was.
Scotty C.
Yeah.
Champions League winner with City.
Sorry, can I just add to that?
2-time Champions League winner. Didn't he win it with Liverpool when he was on the bench?
Yes.
And then he won it with City when he was on the bench.
Yeah. I just want to throw back to that Colin Matungi. 220 metres in one half of rugby without a line break or a tackle bust. So he didn't even get into any open space or bounce off someone.
Backing off him. So he's just dominant. That's just dominant. Yeah, Scott Carson was at Vegas in a Whitehaven jumper. He's a Cumbrian lad, isn't he? I think, maybe. But that was random. I didn't expect to see that, so that was eye-catching. I think it's the very definition of this post. Another thing that caught my eye was a video made by Ben Crooks. You know Ben Crooks?
Yes,
the record for the fastest ever try, OKR, and who else did he play for? Anyway, Ben Crooks.
FC as well, wasn't he?
Was all FC.
Both.
He was making a comment about he's recently moved from centre to second row. He might have just done it for one game. I don't know the context behind this video. But he was talking about the difference between playing centre and playing second row. And he basically said it's a lot more tackling. And his body's a lot more bruised this week. But going forward, he said it's basically the same, which I found interesting. We talk a lot about moving people from second row to centre and how difficult it is. And he's saying it's very similar going forward, but defensively it was a lot harder at second row.
Yeah.
I guess he defended another 2 in from centre.
Effectively, yeah.
If you want to go see that, he's on Ben Crook's socials pages, I think. He does some other things about, talking about his work, and sometimes he's on the school run and he wants to talk about
just general.
He wants to talk about block plays or something when he's on the school run, so I find that sort of thing interesting.
I've got something else that caught my eye.
Yeah.
Still over in the NRL, and it's great stats. Cronulla, Tricky Trindle.
Yeah.
2 tries, 4 try assists.
Yeah.
2 tries that were... we basically created it and then the centre put the winger over. He had a phenomenal game in a 50 points to 10 win.
There were some points put on in the NRL this week.
But my highlight of this was getting up and rubbing his new shavely head and then basically saying it was that he gets better when he cuts his hair.
He is.
Yeah.
But so, he's always bald. Well, he's not always that bald.
He's not always that bald. He went full bald. And I'm a fan for that. Worth mentioning there, though, what's the big thing in the NRL? 50 points.
If you ship 50 points in a game, you can't win the comp.
So, 2 teams, seasons of.
Which 2 teams?
Gold Coast and Parramatta.
Well,
both in round 1.
Okay, well, that's lasted a round longer than it should have for those 2 teams. I saw something from Nathan Cleary, actually, this week.
Oh, yes.
Nathan Cleary was asked on a podcast, do you dream about shape? And he said yes. He says he gets really excited and he dreams about shape. And I just think that might be why he's the best player in the world. He decided to describe his dreams about shape by talking about something that wasn't really shape.
We're talking about a player without shape.
A player that didn't really involve shape, but I think it was like a fake shape.
Yeah.
Which is just then...
But he's talking about reading patterns, wasn't he?
He was talking about reading defensive patterns and actually he was talking about video analysis. And they'd got Josh Adokar on some video analysis from right at the start of the season that they then held back for 3/4 of the year to pull it out in the semi-final and open the scoring.
I was going to say the first 5 minutes.
First 5 minutes of the semi-final were Api Coruscant looks to have been caught on the second to last tackle, by accident. And so Nathan Cleary jumps in and immediately kicks it cross field over the Fox's head for them to score. And I just thought that was really interesting to watch and listen to. One of the greats of all time when it comes to actually putting shape on, talking about putting a fake shape on and kicking it instead.
The one thing I want to add to that sort of caught me by surprise was normally we talk over here about showing things at certain times in the season and
they were saving it. He said they saved it because they knew they were going to get Melbourne in a big game.
And that's what I mean. Like, we play games where you see we're up by quite a lot of points and we'll put a few shapes on or subtleties in passes and things like that.
So you have to defend it next time.
Yeah, to almost send a warning shot of, you don't know what we're going to throw at you. Well, this is actually, we're not going to practice doing it. We're just going to pull it off on the day.
And they're not going to do it when we play Melbourne in round 10. They're not going to do it when we play Melbourne in round 22.
And there would have been an attempt to do that.
Yeah, because what if you don't match up against Melbourne? But they knew, in their hearts or whatever, they thought they were going to get Melbourne in a big game.
There is always a thing of if you want to win it for the first time, you've got to beat the team. And Melbourne were the team.
I just loved that it worked, though. Loved that they waited all this time and it worked. And they opened the score and they never looked back. So yeah, I really thought that was very interesting. I mean, it's 5 years old now, that game, but the clip's not.
But that it still mattered to him and he was still thinking about it.
Yeah.
Right. I think I got the last eye catch.
That was my last one.
Your last one. Last one's a good tale story, but it's from Radlinski on LinkedIn. Not me on LinkedIn. I don't really use it, but it was sent to me. I think it's worth repeating for the people. Radlinski posted on LinkedIn that I really post on here, but I felt this deserved a moment. Darien House is a brilliant charity full of brilliant people, and is a great partnership for
That's who our green kit's for.
Yes, yeah. However, on this occasion, I'd like to talk about Adam Kieran and Harry Smith. Two really good friends, aren't they?
They live near each other, yeah, they're good friends.
If you watch the documentary from the quad season,
yes,
they do a lot together. And the message then carries on. This wasn't a scheduled club appearance. This wasn't something they had to do. They came to us and said they wanted to visit. That's the stuff that people don't see. After watching the video and listening to their words, I was genuinely humbled. Nothing was scripted. No one told them what to say. It was just two young men representing themselves and the club in the right way. For me, the holy grail of any sports club isn't just measured in trophies. It's measured in how you treat people, how you show up in your community, Results matter, of course they do, and that's how we will all be judged. But being a beacon of hope, making people feel valued, giving something back, that's the standard we should all thrive. We should all be thriving for. Adam and Harry, 2 outstanding rugby league players, 2 outstanding blokes.
Fair play to them both. And I just want to talk about that a little bit, actually. I know you've said it. Because we had a tough time with Adrian Lamb because it was COVID. We had no sort of connection. We had the cardboard cutouts at the games. And the Super League, all the games were on, but it was all behind closed doors, and the piping in crowd noise and all that. And it was horrible. It was a horrible, horrible time. And even when we came back to games, we had to sit so far apart. And it was a horrible.
I remember being at the DW managing to get a ticket and being sat away from my dad.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've watched a game at Wigan without my dad there, ever.
Yeah. And so I remember when Pete came in, it was like 3 months into Pete coming in, and I was in hospitality, and he came in and thanked everybody and said, we need to be better at the connection between the club and the fans.
Yep.
And it must have been a big deal for him. And I know he made that wall in Robin Park that you can see that's fantastic with all the different community clubs on.
Yes, yeah.
He had them all visiting. I remember in his first year, every community club in the Wigan area seemed to visit. And to me, in rugby league more so than any other sport, besides maybe non-league football, the actual connection between the club and the fans is your currency.
I want to...
Because it's rugby league, it's working class, small town attitudes, you have got to look after your fans. You're not going to have 100,000 tourists queuing up to buy tickets for you.
No.
You need to be at the heart of your community. They always, the old adage that you are representing the town, not the team. And yes, that helps that we've got Wigan lads in the squad and Northwest lads, in the squad. Lancashire lads, I might say. But it also helps that we've got that continuity from the youngest age groups right the way through to the top. They all play at Robin Park, they all train at Robin Park, they all have the same shape, they all have the same systems.
The best thing I ever saw was the complete training day.
Yeah, the joint
the women in
day.
the wheelchair and the academies, and
you've got the first team coaching staff, the first team players involved from the very bottom all the way up. You've got the community clubs visiting with the juniors. You've got the scholars. You don't get that if you don't treat the people of Wigan right. And I feel like that is an underrated part of the best teams. You can see now with what Hull KR are doing for their fans. They've got a fan in charge. We've got a fan in charge. We had one for many years when we were still ending. We've got another one now in charge. Got Radlinski as in charge as well. A fan at heart. And there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah. I've obviously got the message from Radlinski up there. And I keep coming back to that last line. Adam and Harry, 2 outstanding rugby league players, 2 outstanding blokes. And almost it doesn't... How good you are at rugby matters for 80 minutes, 33 times a season. How you treat people, how you treat your community, that matters every single minute.
Yeah, and we used to have the fans day when we were kids, didn't we? And that was always good. And we did things, we did bits and bobs and things, but it feels like now there's even more.
Yeah, and
I feel like if you're a kid now, you've got so many things, so many things for you to do that are involved with the club, and it probably comes from now having Robin Park as our own.
Yes, yeah.
Which is fantastic. I just think we're in a really good place as a club. Like, yeah, we don't hold any trophies right now, but we held them all very recently. Well, we still got the Locker Cup, of course, and that shield that we won when we played Hull FC in Australia. But
are we ever going to compete for that again?
I don't know. The Kenny Sterling shield, was it? Kenny Sterling?
It was, yeah, it was.
pick 2 players that play for about 5 minutes each for their teams.
Yeah. But things like this matter more than people give it credit for.
Yeah, it does really matter, this. And also the messaging there from Radlinski matters. And the messaging Matt Pete puts out into the media matters more than people think, more than people realise. We talked a bit about Luke Robinson before. Almost like moaning. That gives your team an excuse. Whether you wanted to or not, it gives your fans, it gives your team, it gives your staff, it gives them an excuse.
I hate ever seeing anyone commenting about injuries, and we're talking about...
The players can.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely fine with players, unless it's the captain. I'm fine with players, but head coach should not complain about injuries.
But what I mean by that is, Field gets injured last week, and our first conversation was, just have to deal with it.
Yeah, but I don't mind us talking about it and saying, "Oh no, Field's injured. That's bad for us." And I don't even mind if Bevan came out and said, "Oh, it's not as easy now without Jay because we weren't let's get." I don't mind that. But if Matt Pete came out and said, "Oh, we're doing it really tough. We're missing Jay Field. Oh, how are we going to win this game?" Like, you know what? I know he wouldn't because we've got a stronger squad than us. But that sort of thing is, like, that is so much more important. You think he gives everyone an excuse when your head coach is talking like that?
Yeah, you're definitely right though. Definitely.
So big on messaging.
It's so weird, isn't it? And we have spoke about Matty Pete being an English graduate, isn't it?
English language, yes.
And he's
I think so.
Understanding of words and what actually you're saying, how it matters. It matters so much more than people get. And subtle changes in language.
Wouldn't want to teach him though, would you?
No.
Feels like he'd be a bit cheeky and, because he's so smart.
Yeah.
A bit cheeky.
Yeah.
You know the kid, like, you probably got loads. I've got loads who teach like that.
Yeah. Right, I think that's it. Thank you for listening. We never actually said, I just realised that Lewis isn't here.
He's got tape over his mouth.
He's just
been trying to chime in about lead runners this whole time. He's been desperate to talk about lead runners.
But yeah, Lewis is unwell at the moment, so hopefully he'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Matty, been a pleasure having you on again.
Yep.
And
we'll see you on Friday.
See you on Friday.